This month Flashing 12 O'Clock speaks with theater maker and performer, Nicola Gunn. Before we started recording, Nicola told us that she was worried we'd ask her about her process.
Because I thought you would say something like, "So Nicola, what's your process?" And I would say, "Oh, I don't really have one." Because my answer to what is your process is to make work that I think is interesting. And so I hadn't actually got to the second part of that question, which is therefore, what do you think is interesting? It's just my process is now more than it used to be in the past. Now I'm just interested in making work about things that I'm interested in at the moment, or something that I find amusing or interesting. And then, but what are those things, and how do I decide that they're interesting? I don't know. I just do. It's just like this natural aesthetic. I saw a showing of something on Tuesday. It was a new dance work, and one of the performers had yellow socks on, and I thought, wow, I really love the yellow socks. If that makes it to the show, I'd be very happy. And I just think, well, I could make a show where everyone or someone had to wear yellow socks, and just make that a choice, just because I think they look good in the space. It's just an aesthetic choice. Just how I relate to the world, really. I think because that's all I know. I don't really know anything about anything else.
Does that result in a commonality across the work? Are there repeating motifs in the work that you can identify as particular to your worldview?
I think the commonality is obviously me. I was thinking about all the work I've made, even like the really early stuff that I don't choose to think about so much anymore, but there's a sense of doom, like constantly sort of pervading the work, I think, a sort of tragedy, impending tragedy, and death. The possibility of death or extinction or something ending, or people that are unfulfilled in some way, or potential that is not fulfilled. And I think that's their commonalities in the work.
It implies a set of two decisions being made in your work, an aesthetic one and a philosophical one. Does one generally come before the other, or does each inform the other as you go?
I think each informs the other. It's, I guess there's two things going on. There's something that I aesthetically like, for example, light bulbs or something, or neon, fluorescent tubes. And then there's some sort of line of questioning, or some sort of philosophical line of questioning that I'm interested in at that time. And I just bring the two together somehow, I think. But I kind of now, I think a design aesthetic. And I think that it's just, I think all my work will sort of be very similar now. I don't know, that sounds, oh God, that sounds potentially terrible.
Though your work has made some fairly major shifts from where you began. Your earlier character work had a very firm grounding in narrative, where your newer work is more fluid in its performative approach. More deconstructed maybe.
I think I've actually been telling the same story since I started making work, and just about a character who feels a certain way, or is experiencing certain feelings and has questions. And now I'm just finding better ways of telling that story. But it's the same work I think I've been making, and now I'm sort of more choosing to be myself in performance as opposed to character or acting, you know. I think I'm more myself, but I'm still playing a persona of myself. And that's, I think, something I'm interested in. And that's probably, I think that's me getting older and mature and more sophisticated with my work. It's me seeing more work in the world that interests me, and instead of thinking, oh, wouldn't it be great to make work like that, just sort of deciding, oh, I'm going to make work like that.